Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Welcome. Our group was assigned Energize Others. And Energize Others can be defined as energizing others in a way that's engaging with people on their terms and creating a process that everyone can trust and participate in. And in this presentation, we'll be covering three main topics. The first topic is working across factions. When you work, when you're working on an adaptive issue, you're going to be working with allies. Parties are kind of neutral as well as enemies, and working across factions is kind of a skill of navigating those boundaries and working with everyone involved in the adaptive issue to reach your goal with the adaptive issue at large. The second thing we're covering is speak to loss. Now, inevitably, working on adaptive work, you're going to be taking L's along the way. And what constituents don't want to hear is you just brush over the losses. They want you to talk about it and address them and be sincere and honest and talking about the losses, but also the victories along the way as well. Lastly, engaging unusual voices. There are some people who are going to have unpopular opinions, even people working almost directly with you. It's important to listen to those, take their ideas into consideration, take them seriously, and incorporate those into your movement going forward. And to demonstrate these components, we have created three different skits to kind of showcase how these can happen in the real world. One of the issues that many students have across campus is eating in the cafeteria. Commuters, but especially freshman students, all eat in the cafeteria and eat the food there every day. And the adaptive challenge that we have chosen is to address the quality of the food there, since that's something that many students have complaints about. Well, the time is now. Let's get started.
Oh, hey. So we're going to go ahead and get started on our experiments and our skits. First one up is working across factions. For this, we have decided to talk to different Sodexo workers and see what their experience is like behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Oh yes, come in.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
I was hoping to ask you a couple questions. I'm Lucy.
I'm Nathaniel. I'm the manager here at Sodexo. How can I help you?
Well, I just want to ask you a couple questions. So, when do you order the food for Sodexo and Bowl?
Honestly, we don't necessarily really. I mean, I order the food, but we always order our food on like a longer timeline. We basically order it months in advance, and we get our carloads of food every morning, so the food's always super fresh.
All right. And then you recently sent out a survey to the students. What exactly did you want to come out of that?
I mean, being the manager and dealing with a lot of freshmen as our primary class that we serve to, a lot of people have issues with the food, but not a whole lot of people want to voice that opinion. So the goal of the survey was to see what issues the students have with the survey, and unfortunately, we try and get as much feedback as we can. It's not always helpful, but we are really trying our best because we don't like hearing people not happy. But at the same time, we need people to reciprocate and deliver some good feedback for us. So that's what we're trying to gather.
I think that's a good goal.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time and answering all my questions.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much for stopping in. I appreciate this communication with students.
Excuse me. Are you the food provider for Sodexo?
Yes.
Is it alright if I ask you a couple questions?
Sure.
So I was just wondering when you guys get your food and where you get it from.
We usually just get it right before the meals. I'm not sure. I just stand in the kitchen and cook.
And then how fresh would you say your food is?
I think it's okay.
Okay, that's all I have to ask.
Go.
Hi, I'm from the Bulletin. Is it okay if I sit down and ask you guys a couple questions?
Oh yeah, of course.
How are you guys doing today?
Good. What about you?
Pretty good. Did you guys just get here from class?
Yeah, I'm pretty tired.
Yeah. I just want to ask you a couple questions. So what do you guys think about the cow food?
It's okay. That's why I'm having Subway.
And what about you?
It's alright. It has some good and bad days. For the most part, I'll give it a 5 out of 10.
What would you do to improve the food?
I feel like quality of food, maybe sometimes, I feel like I'm always eating the same stuff, so maybe a little bit more variety.
I agree. It's really fun. And also the freshness of the things. Sometimes it has some oil in it, some excess oil. It just bothers my stomach.
Well, I'll write that down and let them know.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you for asking. So our next section is going to be Speak to Loss. And so Speak to Loss is very important with any adaptive challenge because it addresses the the sacrifices that all the factions are gonna have to make. So we're gonna prepare a skit where we're gonna address the different losses that the different factions are gonna have regarding our challenge with the Sodexo.
Thank you all for coming to this meeting that I have called. Sodexo manager, food provider, student, I appreciate you being here and taking time out of your busy schedule to hear me out. So we have had a challenge on campus about the cat food. It's been a challenge for a while and we finally feel like we need to address it. And we have decided as a team that we need to have better quality food. So for our solution of having better quality food, there are going to be some things that we're going to have to lose in order to gain better quality. So first, for our lovely Sodexo manager, we're going to end up spending more money so that we can get better quality food in the long run, so that we can get these students to eat at the CAP longer and more. Workers, you're going to have to work maybe some more time, cook for longer, stay extra hours to clean, just so that we can really get those students that great experience at the CAF. And as for students, even though you guys will be benefiting a lot from this, there might be longer lines since the food is taking longer to cook, or the CAF might be closed for longer. So I understand that these things are really tough for you guys, but we hope that you can understand that this will be beneficial for everyone in the end.
For our next skit, we're going to be introducing the component of engaging unusual voices. This is important because a lot of times when we address adaptive challenges, we tend to hear out voices who are the loudest, and that sometimes may be the students who are able to voice their opinions. However, in this skit, we're going to be having a Sodexo manager talking to a Sodexo worker and seeing how they are feeling about the situation of getting better quality cat food.
Barsby, many of the students have been coming out to me, and not just students, I mean organizations coming out to me and telling us we have to change the food. And we had the meeting that we discussed some things, a little bit earlier today, and with you being, my employee of the month, just month after month, Barsby, I need your opinion. How would you feel about potentially working more hours to improve the quality of food here at the cafeteria?
I've heard some students' concerns as well while I'm serving, and sometimes they complain about the temperature of the food, the freshness of the food. So I think overall, if we want to have Sodexo be a better place for students to eat, I think I'll be okay with more hours. But I have a question. Would that mean, since we're making better quality food, would this mean like better wages also?
I don't know if I can answer that myself now. I have to talk to corporate about that, and to deal with corporate. But I will try my best to advocate for you guys, and I feel like you guys deserve the most. I care about you.
Thank you.
I'll try my best.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
So in our presentation, we discussed many of the elements of Energize Others, including working across factions, speaking to loss, as well as engaging unusual voices. But honestly, the core thing about energizing others is that the bottom line, you can't work on adaptive challenges alone. You have to work as part of a team. And the bottom line is you can't work towards progress without having people to back you up. And to get people to back you up, you have to energize them and basically ride them to join your side. Because if these same constituents move and join other factions, they're not working towards your faction. So it's imperative that we learn to keep people engaged, stay cordial with all groups involved, and working together to reach our goal. So during our presentation, to work across factions, we interviewed some of the different people affiliated with the cafeteria, being the Sodexo manager, one of the cafeteria workers, as well as a student, to see where they are in kind of the realm about the quality of the food, because each person is going to have their different take, their different opinion. It's important to encapsulate all those. The second component was speaking to loss. So after speaking to everyone involved, we also have to speak to what people are going to be losing, because the bottom line is people, we don't like losing things. We don't like sacrifice. We like, basically just gaining, not losing anything. So being able to have realistic conversations about what we're going to lose to make adaptive progress is really important, and the progress alone, but also like developing that mutual respect and the cohesion like within the group. Lastly, we engaged unusual voices, and that is engaging those voices that aren't necessarily popular and getting some of the different groups to begin to work together and have conversations. So in our skit, it was the Sodexo manager speaking to the worker and talking more about some of the sacrifices that are going to have to be made. In conclusion, all the competencies of adaptive leadership are very important, but we were assigned to energize others. And the skit that we performed helps paint a realistic picture of how you can execute energizing others when you yourself are working towards your own adaptive problem.